Okay, so Valor is mine in frame.
Yep. And
Okay.
then you've got that inner dust jacket there that has the
And you've got nothing on the inside of
nothing
this.
cool.
Welcome back to the Interesting Theory podcast. I'm Aaron.
Tanner.
And today we've got a very fun episode for you guys because not only do we have our regular segments like our reading update and our wonderful conversation topic that Tanner has come up with, but this is also an unboxing video.
Yeah,
Because Tanner, one of two, I guess, because Tanner and I have gotten our first shipment of the Broken Binding subscription box, which is the first two books in the Faithful and Fallen series, Malice and Valor, by John Gwynn, Papa Gwynn himself.
And we've been waiting on these for months now. I think
So-
we should have received the first book technically back in
I think May. 'cause I think,
before then. We
or
should
was
have,
it April? It was April.
it should have been like late March, early April.
Yeah.
Because this is the first two, and they didn't ship until July.
That's right.
And so like March, or I think April, like early April is when we should have gotten the first one. But
So before we start getting into those, let's do our reading update. Last we talked, because I guess it's been a couple weeks now since we last recorded.
it has been.
What kind of progress have you made?
I've made some decent progress. Let me look at my book calendar here so I don't mess it up.
I haven't been like properly tracking like my reading days.
So last we spoke because we had finished the Unsold book, and then I also started and finished Bookshops and Bone Dust, I think.
Right.
I immediately started Empire of the Vampire, finally, after forever. Because I think you read them back in like January, right? Or some January, February.
No, because I was reading the final one around the time it came out back in October.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
I read,
crap.
I think I read the first two in October, and then I got to the third one by November because I read it shortly before Hyrox and Nexus.
See, I was thinking you were still like Will of the Many, Strength of the Few during that time, but
I read them around the same time.
dang, that feels like that doesn't seem like it was that long ago. But yeah, so I'm finally getting to it.
Yeah.
It took me 3 weeks to read, almost to the day.
You've had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy in the personal life. And then yesterday, 2 days ago, I started Empire of the Damned. And as of today, we are 23% in.
Nice.
I had meant to carve out a little bit more today. Just hadn't been able to. Maybe this weekend, but we got a busy weekend ahead of us. So we'll see how it goes. I am off work all day Tuesday.
Nice.
Because I got a couple personal things I got to attend to. So I should have that full day to... If I'm not finished with that already, then if I'm finished with that already, then I'll be on Empire of the Dawn. So
Nice.
yeah, that's it for me. Currently that is my and then I started and DNF'd within an hour.
Oh yeah.
Bromantasy.
Yeah, which a couple episodes ago we mentioned there might have been something we might read for Pride. Obviously we didn't get there,
Yeah.
but it was the book called Bromantasy. I'll put a picture of it on the screen. I don't remember who the author was.
Yeah, me neither.
But he finally got it in Libby through the library.
Yeah, and I'll just get into it here.
Yeah.
I had read the back of it thinking it was going to be like two bro best friends, like Brokeback Mountain style, but fantasy. But what ended up happening within the first chapter is you realize that they live together and they're roommates, which is cool. But one of them named Juniper. This is also my other problem with the book. But I'll get to my first problem first. Is like he is clearly in love with his roommate.
Oh.
I think it was Mo. And so like it was just like, oh, they're not friends. This one's just in love with him, and they'll probably
it was like an unrequited love.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you found that out like the first like 6 paragraphs, and then I got to the chapter 2 and I was just like, Juniper's just insufferable already.
Honestly, I think I know absolutely nothing about the story other than
Mhm.
it's two bros go on an adventure together.
Yeah.
I think it could have benefited from just being exactly that. It's
Yeah.
just two friends that go on an adventure, and it's like, there's something going on here.
Yeah.
Like that, I feel like that would have been a better story.
That's what I was thinking it was going to be. Like
Yeah.
two bros quietly fall in love
Yeah.
on a thing. It's like, okay, cool. But no, like it felt, the other thing is like, it felt like it got and I did not read the whole book. And I'm judging it by its first chapter and a half.
Mhm.
And someone can call me out for that. But it felt like it was maybe started as not queer fantasy,
Mhm.
and then turned into that. Cause like, I don't know if I've ever met a dude named Juniper. But I've known some named like Brittany and Ashley. Like I've known an Ashley.
Yeah, like
But
our main boss at my office, his name is Ashley.
yeah, but I've never met a Juniper. Like in a lot of books, I just read Crescent City, and
Yeah.
there's a Juniper in that. And guess what? It's not a dude.
It
So it felt
I don't
like
know. It doesn't feel like a guy name, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's going into stereotypes, but
I feel like it is. But
it
like
just, yeah,
Juniper and Mo felt very heterosexual, and I was like, I signed up for like
yeah,
two bros.
yeah.
Like, give me Brad and Chad. Like,
Brad and Chad's homosexual adventure.
yeah. So, hopefully my wife reads it before she watches this episode, because I told her I DNF'd it, and she's like, "Don't tell me about it. I'm gonna read it." And I'm like, "Okay." Like,
Oh, nice.
once you're past chapter 2, I'll tell you why I DNF'd it. And so that is my first DNF of the year. We are
Wow.
6.5 months in, because we're in the middle of
That's pretty
July.
good.
So
What's your, now that we're halfway through the year officially, what's your total count?
31. I
One-
think Empire, the book 1 of Empire was book 31. Let me double check my math here real quick. Oh no, that was book 30. So Empire book 2 is 31.
Okay.
So on track for 60. May pick up, since this, like, I read 3 books last month, 4-ish,
Mhm.
and that was a slow month. So maybe it'll pick up. We'll see.
Nice. I've officially read 26.
Hot dog.
So I am perfectly halfway on my goal at the halfway mark of the year, so I'm kind of on track.
Mm-hmm.
Although this is kind of the first time in my entire life of reading, going through multiple books at once, not just 2 books, but we're talking like I think I've got 6 books that I currently have open right now.
Oh wow.
Only because like 3 or 4 of the books are anthology books. And as I've said 1,000 times before, I'm doing a reread of the Shadowhunter stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm reading those stories as I get to them in chronological order.
Yeah.
So like on my Fable account, I've got like 4 books that are all at like 10 to 25% read through because I'm only at certain stories.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I actually have 2 full books that I'm reading right now. I'm reading the second book in the last hours. It's called Chain of Iron.
Mm-hmm.
And I am reading the third Ryan Cahill book, of War and Ruin.
That's what it looks like.
Of War and Ruin.
Yeah.
I listen to him while I'm at the gym, and then I listen to the other one while I'm like working or
Yeah.
whatever, just around the house. So far both are really good. The Chain of Iron's a reread, so I've gone through it before, but this trilogy is the first time I'm experiencing it like all the way through together, because I
Yeah.
read those as they came out,
Yeah.
because they're the more recent books.
Mhm.
And so there's like a year or 2 in between each of them that I read them.
So you get to.
And so I'm like, there's a mystery in this second book that it starts off like, wait, who is this person? If you would have read the first book and immediately go into book 2, you know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't know if it was meant like that or if that's just me looking back at it, but it's kind of plain as day.
Yeah.
And so the whole time I'm reading the book, I'm like, what is going on here? You know who it is. I think she meant for it to be like, yeah, I'm not saying who it is, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun experiencing that for the second time.
Heck yeah.
And
On the anthology books,
Yes.
are they pretty small? Are you going to count them as like multiple or like
so,
one book
so here's
each,
the thing.
or how's that working?
Each book, there's actual like full books that
Mhm.
she released that have there are 10 anthology stories, 10 short stories in those books.
This is like the
So I'm
Arcanum
counting,
Unbound.
yeah, Arcanum Unbound. So she has like 4 of those. I'm counting the collections as one book.
That makes
so
sense.
not all the short stories are counted
Yeah.
as a tally.
It's kind of how I did my like Sanderson read last year.
Yeah.
Like
Arcanum Unbound was one book, even though it was like, you know, half a dozen short stories or whatever.
I didn't read the Arcanum Unbound like as the book because I own the physical copies of almost every book.
Right.
So like Mistborn Secret History, that was one book, but the what was it? The 11th Metal
Yeah.
short story, I didn't count that as a book. It was like 10 pages.
Yeah. I read them all separately, but anything that was in the Arcanum Unbounded, I just counted it as one book.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't, just for the fact that I read them physically as different books, and the Mistborn Secret History, Dawn Shard, and
Edge
Dancer are like 200 pages. Granted, they are small, but if I had read them, like if I had read like the Arcanum Unbound as a book, I probably would only count it as one. So my numbers are slightly
I kind of
inflated.
wish you could do like on reading trackers when you read a novella, it just counts it as 0.5.
Yeah.
So that like if at the end of the year you gone through like 52.5, you know that there's a novella in there.
Yeah. So that would be cool. But some novellas are bigger than others. We talked about
that's
this.
true.
You know, Kaiju Preservation Society is not a full novel. It is like it is,
but it is
a
called
book.
a novel. Yeah, it's a book, but even though it's novella size.
Yeah.
So
stuff like that. But you know, that's splitting hairs. So that's the reading update.
Yep.
Second thing, you want to do the unboxing?
Let's
now?
do the unboxing first, and then we can go on to our topic.
Okay.
So I'll let you unbox yours real quick. We have Sting letter opener to open up these boxes, and I'll grab my box.
I have not untaped mine.
I haven't untaped mine either.
We got them yesterday, and we have been like frothing at the mouth of like getting these done or wanting to open them. And so it's one of those things that's like, Aaron had mentioned like, do I just like open it to make sure like the books are fine because the box is kind of jacked up? And it's like, well, I guess we'll find out on the video.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is. I mean, it had to come all the way from.
So we
England.
currently live pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
And so I made the joke. It's like the delivery guy went to Tanner's house, dropped it off, came over here, saw the exact same box, and he's like, "What are the odds?"
Yeah, because it is not like in a like here's the box.
Yeah.
I can't tell if you can see it on my screen or not.
You could see it.
But I mean the box is good. It unfortunately got beat up a little bit.
I think yours got beat up more than
I
mine.
think so. I also don't know how to open this dang thing. We're gonna have to...
It looked a little confusing. There it goes.
There we go. I'm hoping they're fine.
Move the mic over just a wee bit.
Also, since we are talking about this, I am immersive reading Empire, and it is the same narrator as Faithful and the Fallen.
Yes.
And it kind of throws me off every now and then because I'm like, this sounds exactly like this character in Faithful and the Fallen.
So I don't know if I made that comment to you before, but like I had just finished the Empire books. And then we started A John Gwynne Christmas. And so I listened to these and I was like, this dude, is that Gabriel De Leon? Like, what is going on here?
All right. Okay. Well, they seemed well packaged, so I'm not.
I don't think there's any damage.
I'm not fearful, but there is.
Am I still in frame? I moved my chair.
You are still in frame.
Okay, cool.
There's a lot of packaging.
The suspense is killing me.
Same, because like,
okay, here we go.
We've been waiting on these books for so long.
Oh,
we could have.
And
they're bubble wrapped,
and
butcher paper. It looks like
they're separated. Which one's which?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
This one smells.
It's like Christmas. This is funny because we read these during Christmas. It was our John Gwynne Christmas, as you said.
Was it right?
I don't even know.
It's Valor. That's okay. That is so cool.
All right, which one did I open?
Like you also
I
opened
think I
Valor. Hell
also
yeah.
opened Valor. Oh my!
I've been seeing everyone, like all my TikTok friends, open these up, and I've been so jealous.
I have not gotten any video on it at all, which is surprising. Oh, dude, that is. So
I love
sick.
that they've got on the inner flap of the dust jacket. They've got the weapon that was on the cover of the book.
Yep. Do we want to do a side by side? Because you've got them up there. Of the you got the paperback up there. This will be my first set. I have both the special edition. I have the special editions of the Faith, or not the, well, yeah, soon to be all of the Faithful and the Fallen, and then I have the special editions that they released of the Bloodsworn trilogy.
Yeah. Okay, so Valor is mine in frame.
Yep, and then you've got that inner dust jacket there that has the.
And you've got nothing on the inside.
Nothing cool. So yeah, we've got some super cool art. I'm gonna take off this whole dust jacket because it looks like it's got something.
Oh, it's got art on the
on just the thing, which is great because like dust jackets are dust jackets, but like this is so
cool.
sick. Like here's that, and it's a full all the way around. You've got bro spreads. Like
Bro spread. Yeah. The fact that whenever these are all together, it's the shield wall.
Yeah.
I almost want to display them pages out.
Which will be great.
Or I may just like go to this artist's website and get like a print of this art. Because I follow him on Instagram and I really love all the art he does. This is so cool. Okay, so now we got to open up Malice.
Oh, and then that back is really cool.
Right.
All right. Let's set this down over here. And if you haven't read The Faithful and the Fallen, you absolutely should.
That is so freaking beautiful. Look at that.
Oh, I haven't even got mine. He's way ahead of me over here.
Okay. For comparison, the original Malice cover.
You remember when I passed that one up and you picked it up at the store?
Yep.
Oh, Lord, did I just not know at the time?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is that was this the... Are you talking about at the used bookstore?
Yeah.
I didn't even pick it up then because it had a tear on the back.
I thought you bought it because I didn't get it. You're like, if you don't get it, I'm going to get it. Because I'd passed on...
Oh, you know what? You're right. I'm thinking of Cahill.
Yeah.
Because they had a book one of the Cahill series.
All right. So the side by side.
Okay.
We've got this sick Malice book. I can't tell if mine is in frame or not.
It is.
And then, God, it's so cool. You got Corbin on the front.
That first artwork you see, this is one of my faves. Seeing that.
Mm-hmm. God,
and then
so
you've got Corbin rescuing the little puppy.
That breaks my heart a little bit. Storm. Papa Gwen back there.
Love the smell of new books.
You can tell much about a man by the company he keeps, by his friends and his enemies.
With all the art on here, I'm surprised they didn't do an art on the inside of the dust jacket too.
Yeah, me too. But like,
I mean, like not complaining.
I am not. And then you have it together, and then there's the kind of art together.
Yeah, I'll put a screenshot of the full image that it's supposed to show when the books are done, because the artist has put it up on his Instagram.
Yeah,
and I'll tag him. And you can go see it and support the artist.
It's so good. And we'll clean up our mess in a minute.
Yeah, we'll clean up the mess. And then I think you can see, but I had this little spot on my shelf. That's where these bad boys are going.
Heck yeah.
They'll sit there for now, and then we'll move them over for the next ones.
My other box is already shipped.
Oh, really?
Yep. So Ruin is on its way for me.
Is it? I thought they were supposed to ship Ruin and Wrath together.
I'm not sure, but I got an email saying one of the royal carrier, whoever it is, has my other package. So
what the?
I might have mine before you. We'll see. I'll double check my email, but yeah. So there's our fancy books that we've been waiting for months and months on.
I'm so excited. And then I didn't cancel my subscription.
Me neither.
So I've already been signed up for the next book.
Me too.
And it's the Suzanne Clark, Pierre Nessie, and what's it? Jonathan Strange.
I'm not
Jonathan
sure.
Norwell and Doctor Strange or something like.
We'll figure it out.
I forget the name of the book, but I haven't. I've been looking forward to reading both of those. You know, my wife's a little jealous. I'm getting Pierre Nessie.
Well, let me show you. Well, actually, no, because this is like you have to be selected.
Yeah.
For it, and so when we saw this, we immediately signed up the day that we could.
Well, we got on the wait list.
Yeah,
because it wasn't even going to be guaranteed that we were even going to get it.
So you had to go get on the wait list, and then we both got our emails. I think you got yours the same day.
It was the same day. I think I checked my email first.
Yeah,
because I was like, oh my god, I got selected, and you're like, dude, me too.
Yeah, and then we got our packages on the same day, which I think makes sense because we live about a mile away from each other right now, and so. Oh, dude, they're so sick. I'm so excited.
I'm so happy. And now we get them, and then the moment we finish this episode, I'm going out of town, so I can't even like really enjoy them.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's there's that, and then on to the topic of the day. We've been off for a couple of weeks recording, and we just busy with different life stuff here and there. We hadn't we haven't done a buddy read since Unsold, and so we don't have any like book reviews, but we were kind of debating topics back and forth, and we have a few video ideas in the pipeline of what we want to do, some segments here and there, but I kind of wanted to get a little bit more on the personal end here, and so I have a topic of why do we read? And I think, is it in our video ideas chat? Because like sometimes we will go back and forth. Okay, no, it's definitely in our like just our single chat. I'll have to find it. Do a search. Got it. Yeah. So it was just brought up as like a why we read, and then Aaron was like, "Yeah, let's do that." And so I said that I would prepare some like topics within that. So I have a whole thing here.
Yeah, when you had said you were gonna prepare some topics, I was thinking you meant like future videos, not specific smaller subtopics within the one topic.
Well,
so
they're kind of conversation starters. Like if we like kind of want to get into it, and I'll pick a couple of different ones. So it's like I have it broken up into like the opening, kind of the why, any emotional like connections, reading habits, preferences, etc. So kind of the first one, and we'll both kind of chat about this, but like why we read, kind of what got us there. I know we talked about in our very first episode of like what got us back into reading as adults,
right?
Kind of, and not even really, just kind of like mine was just like I kind of want to read, so I picked up a book and started.
Yeah,
but this one is under the origin stories. What is your earliest memory of reading?
Okay. Earliest memory.
And I would quantify this as like for not like school purposes, like while you probably read in school, but
because like we read books in elementary school. And I think my earliest memory of like actually reading would be, so my sister and I would stay with my grandma. Oh yeah, that's not a MagSafe. It's like, it's for the Kindle. It's like the rubber band that holds on the corners. So, my sister and I would stay with my grandma like almost every weekend, mostly every other weekend when we were real little. And during the summers, we'd go down here to the library. That's like a mile down the road, because she lived in this area, and we would do the summer reading program.
Oh, sick.
So we'd get our little sheet, and every weekend she'd take us to the library. We get like 5 or 6 more books, like try to read them while we were there, and throughout the week, write them down on our list. And then, at the end of the summer, if we read so many books, we got a little award, and we got a little
personal pan pizza.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't remember if we got any like treats like that, but there was like a little like medallion they would give you, and then I don't know, there might have been some other things, but that's like the main thing I remember. And that was, gosh, second grade, younger. I mean, I was pretty young.
Yeah. I remember reading like probably the first book series was like, not because like we did like the AR books in elementary school, like accelerated reading is what it was called.
Yep.
And you got the points for it and all of that fun stuff. And so you just pick up any book. But I remember the very first book series I did read, and this was in like early elementary school, was Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because I remember reading, like, the movie came out in 2001, the first one, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this existed. And then I read from there, and I had read all the way up to like in through middle school with like when they like I got to a point to where it's like had made it to where like they hadn't released all the books yet, which I think is Goblet of Fire, so book 4. So like only like 1, 2, and 3 were out, and the movies hadn't caught up yet, and the books were coming out. I'd have to look up exact because I don't remember what dates they were. I only remember book 7 kind of. But so I remember reading all of those, and then I was in 8th grade for my second time because your boy didn't like to show up to school. And so I remember book 7 coming out, and we didn't live close to a local library, or my parents just didn't care to really take me there. And so I relied on the school library, and I was in 8th grade, and book 7 was coming out, and I harassed my librarian every single day to the point to where she bound her own personal copy for me to borrow. Like, you know how they had like the plastic wrap on them to where, you know, little kids' grubby hands don't destroy them. She bound her own copy so that I could read it.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. But I was like, I'd walk in the library every single morning before school started, and I'm like, you got the book yet? No, not yet. We haven't got it. Still waiting on it. And then finally, after like a week of me going in every day, she was like, here's my personal copy. Do not destroy it. And I was like, you got it. And I read it in like 2 days.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I've reread that series several times. But that's kind of my, like, that's like my earliest memory of like getting into a series, and like actually reading for like my own enjoyment. Like I remember reading Harry Potter, like my first like car read of like just flipping through the book in the back seat of the car. Like that's how enthralled I was.
And that was the thing. Like I read. My lawn guy's here. I don't know if y'all can hear that on the mic. We just hear the weed eater going. I did a lot of like, periodic reading in my younger years, and then I get to 6th grade, and I would like read a series and like be obsessed with that for a short second, but then kind of like forget that reading was a thing.
Yeah.
But I would just be obsessed with reading those like 4 to 5 books, and then not really. So like, I don't know if you ever heard of City of Ember.
I have not.
That was a big one when I was in 6th grade. Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
I didn't read Percy Jackson until a little later, but there was that. There was what was the other one that I had went through? I don't know why I forgot that. The Chronicles of Vladimir Todd. That was like, oh, reading's fun. And then I found Shadowhunters. And then reading was an obsession for me.
Yeah.
That one was the first one where I was like in the backseat of the car, just like gripping the book. Like I was enjoying books before that, but then that kind of like, I don't know, I just kind of like snowballed into obsessing over reading.
And like elementary school is when I kind of started a lot of that. And then like middle school, I didn't read a lot. Like Harry Potter, I kept up with those as they released. I would, go check them out. But I didn't read a lot in middle school. middle school's trying time for
Yeah.
everybody. So I was going through the throes of trying to be cool.
See, that's why
Mhm.
I read a lot in middle school, because I was going through so much. It was the only time that I got escape from
Yeah.
all the bad.
Well, like my the personal life was fine, so I didn't like have this like necessity for like this escapism type situation.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I got to high school, that's when like, personal life, wasn't super great. Like I had a lot of friends at school, so like the only time that I could get away from my personal life was at school. Surprising, I didn't do super well in school grade wise. I was incredibly gifted, and my teachers hated me for it, but like I would just read all day every day. And when I would go home, it's either I was hanging out with my best friend, playing guitar, or I was reading until the wee hours. I remember like going through 700-page books in a day. Granted, these are YA books, so the comprehension level's fairly like low. But like I was reading like 500 to 700-page books a day.
I legit miss the days where I could stay up all night reading a book, finishing it, not going to bed, because by the time I finish it, it's time to get up for the day.
Yeah.
And it not really affect me until later that evening.
Yeah.
If I do that, I'm struggling.
Yeah, like I'm having a bad time. We're canceling workouts. Like, nobody at work better cross me or I'm going to fight somebody.
I'll say we haven't done it yet this year, but there were a few times last year we were training for High Rocks. Like one of us would message you like, hey, I was up to like 3 because I got locked into this book. I don't think I'm going to make it in today.
Yeah. Well, and like we've shifted our workout schedule a little bit. You're going into work a little bit later, so we don't have to be at the gym at 4:45 in the morning, which is fantastic.
That was great.
Yeah, it was a really good time. I was really tired all the time. But that's all I did in high school is I read books. My sophomore year of high school, I checked out like 100+ books. Granted, some of those were really small, some of them were big. Like I read the Twilight series at least 7 times.
That was, so you mentioned AR earlier, accelerated reading. For those that don't know what AR was, there was a program on the school's computers that when you had to earn so many points through it, and to get the points you would read a book and then you'd have to take a test on it. And on the library books on the side there was a sticker that would say the level and like how many points you would get for reading that book. The bigger the book, usually the bigger the points. So me being one of the only guys in my class that read actual thick books, because it was a small class, most of the guys were like jocks, right? So they were like, oh dude, you're reading Eclipse, you're reading one of those Twilight books, how many points is that? And I was like, it's quite a bit. It's like, you want to take the test for me? And I was like, $10. They're like, okay. And so I made, in 7th, 8th grade, I made a small little fortune for a 7th grader.
Heck
because
yeah.
I took the test for like, 12 to 15 people.
You weren't out there like slinging snacks on the playground like the normal kids. You were out there.
Exactly. I was reading and I was just taking the same test over and over, and I would try to get a few of the different questions wrong.
Yeah.
But there were so many that were so close in points, even though I was doing different questions. The teacher was seeing the record, and she was like when we went into class, because there was me and like 5 of the football guys, because I wasn't in sports at the time. And she's like, okay, I don't know who's doing it, but this little group right here, and pointed at us, she goes, you guys all have very close points, close scores.
You all reading the same books.
And one of the guys is like, do you think we didn't do book club? She's like, I'm sure you probably could do a book club. I don't think the 7 of you are reading Twilight together. She goes, now I've seen Aaron read Twilight, but I'm not going to point fingers. All I'm going to say is stop. And if I see another person in this class take the same test and get a similar score, y'all are done.
That's funny.
And I was like, well, there goes that.
That's really funny. I never fell into that, but no. So that's kind of like early reading. Kind of touched on what was the first book you truly couldn't put down. That we kind of touched all those little subjects in there. So on to like kind of more like the why. Like, why do you read today? If you could give only one reason, what would it be? You don't have to. What keeps you reading? And then how has your reason for reading changed as you've gotten older?
I think, it's a good one. I think the base of why I read is escapism.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reasons for escapism has changed over the years. I do read just for the pure enjoyment now. Like, I was still reading for enjoyment then, but it was because I was getting a break from the real world. And now it's more like, do I get that break? Yes. But how can I word this? I don't know. It's not like I'm desperate to get out of my real life that I need the escapism, but it allows me just to shut my brain off and not think of real world stuff for a bit, and I can just enjoy the fantastical nature of the stories I'm reading. And that's mainly why I read fantasy and sci-fi. When I start reading stuff that's like set in the real world, like historical fiction or whatever, kind of bogs me down a little bit. I feel like I'm stressing about real world stuff when I don't want to do that in my fun time. That's why a lot of the shows I watch nowadays, and I mean, I used to just watch everything. But I don't watch as much like real stuff anymore. It's all some sort of fantastical elements. Just because those are the stories that like kind of bring me peace. Even when there is chaos and war and everything, it's like, oh, there's dragons. Like, I can, disconnect from the real world for a little bit.
Absolutely. So I would put mine as similar as that. It's a form of escapism, right? So when I was reading when I was younger, it was to escape like personal life situation with like home life, because it's like I didn't want to be around the people I was around.
Right.
I didn't want to, take part with like I had friends, but like, they were off doing stupid stuff, and I just wanted to like chill. Like I saw what other people were doing. I didn't want to do it, so let me play my guitar, let me read my books, and occasionally go hit the skateboard and whatnot.
Right.
Like now it's more of like, it is the media of choice as escapism, because like you can hop on TikTok, but then you're still inundated with, political stuff, even if you don't want to like be involved in it, or no matter what side of politics you fall on, it's there. You go out into the real world, and like politics is in everything. It's in the books we read, but fucking Dungeon Crawler Carl, extremely political book series. But that is the topics of choice I would rather consume, as opposed to like not to get away from the real life media, but just as a form of like, I can only take so much of it.
Well, and I also think the thing with politics, like books are political, but it's not as much like you don't want to read the political stuff in the books. It's more that like,
it's not the current events.
It's not the current events. Like, do they talk about, political issues, like, topics that we faced in our past, or just like ideals? Yes. And that's fine. I don't want to be inundated every single day with the current events. People talking about, is this president worse than this president? Is, are we going to war with this country? Like I want to be informed, but it gets to be too much. I can read a book that's all about political, issues, but it's not specifically today's topics.
And so like that's kind of where I'm at. And then purely for the love of the game, like reading books on pages, or your e-reader, your audiobook is fantastic. Like I don't judge people on how they consume books. I physically read books. Like I have physical books that I crack open. I have my e-reader. I read on either my Kindle or on the Kindle app on my phone, and then I immersive read a lot, because like that kind of, sometimes if I get into like a funk of like I really do want to read, but sometimes I just can't, my attention can't focus on purely that. It can't block everything else around. So I pop in a headphone, I put on the audio book, and I will read the pages on the phone, on my Kindle, on like the physical book, like the Travis Baldree books. I have the physical books of those, so like I'll immersive read those. Like I have his voice in my head, and I just have my book, and I'm flipping the actual pages of it. I'm comprehending what's there. And so like that part of it. It's just like
Yeah.
reading is fun.
Yeah.
Books are fun. Books are funny.
Yeah.
There's some really good stuff in some of them. Jay Kristoff makes a lot of references in the Empire series to
Mhm.
other things, like and then there's references in all different kinds of stuff that like I really love. Some of them are funny, some of them are devastating,
Mhm.
and all of that. And so that's kind of why I read today.
Mhm. I think one other comment I want to make is that, I guess the reason I started was escapism.
Mhm.
And I still, mainly because of the way things were in life back
Mhm.
then. Now it's more of just like, I need to take a load off kind
Mhm.
of thing. It's not like I'm trying to escape reality. But I think I guess now that I've been thinking about it, the number one reason I've continued to read all this time is just my pure love of stories.
Mhm.
And I think, back before I switched majors and got into the industry I'm in now, I was going to be a filmmaker. I wanted to write and direct film. And I think my love of film and storytelling came from reading
Yeah.
when I was in, elementary and middle school. And that a big reason why I've like really ramped up my reading the last few years is that visual media hasn't been what it used to be.
Yeah.
There's not as many amazing TV shows or amazing movies as there used to be.
Yeah.
You could go to the theater on any given weekend and find an A+ movie.
Yeah.
You got to wait a few months.
Yeah,
now.
we're not getting Pirates of the Caribbean all the time like we used to when we were kids. Man.
At least the first two.
Well, and then there's some movies that come out that you're like, I saw this guy say, he's like, I said I liked it. I didn't say it was good.
Yes.
Mortal Kombat 2. We and the boys went and saw
Oh,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat 2. Was it good? No, but did we like it?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
It's the same crap as like Fast and Furious or Godzilla. Like the movies are not phenomenal.
Yeah.
But they kick ass.
Yeah, they're so good. They fall in this just like they're not good, but I liked it.
Right. And so I've dove into reading more because there's so much more variety in books for stories than there is with the visual media.
Yeah.
And I've kind of, not that I've fully fallen out of love with, filmmaking or anything, but there doesn't seem to be any heart in the industry.
Yeah.
You get little gems here and there.
Oh yeah.
Like some people may disagree with me, but that new movie Obsession.
Yeah.
You got some guy who wanted to be a filmmaker. His debut, they did it low budget, and now it's made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because he put true effort and care into a story. And that's all I look for in storytelling is whether the story is actually good. You can tell whether the author truly tried and put effort into it.
Yeah. Even if it even if it wasn't a 5 out of 5, like even if it was like,
I've read plenty of 3s.
Yeah. Robin Hobb gave Dungeon Crawler Carl a 2. Did you see her review that she put about it?
No.
People on the internet went wild. Like, you gave Dungeon Crawler Carl a 2. She's like, a 2 is good. She's like, my life is so busy. I don't finish books I don't like. I finished Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Yeah.
It was great. And she like gave her rating system a 2. She's like, 2 means I liked it. A 3 means I'm out there like I may be putting off 1 or 2 things here and there to kind of read it. A 4 is like I obsessively read this book, and a 5 is my publisher is calling me because I'm missing deadlines because I'm reading this book. And I was like, damn, that's a good kind of like hard, like not willy-nilly rating system.
That honestly, I like that she explained it like that because that makes a lot of sense. But in the way my brain works, someone says a 2 out of 5. I'm thinking, okay, well, if you do a 10-point system, that's a 4.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Yeah,
that's a 40 out of 100.
That's grading on a scale of like this, and it's like it's just that's her own rating system. So she's like, I didn't DNF it. I don't finish books I don't like, and it was like that makes a lot of sense. I have finished books I didn't really like, and then I DNF'd one 4 days ago because I was like, meh, I didn't like that. It wasn't great.
I've really been trying to like hone in on like a better like rating scale to like actually like do an analytical part, get the scale, like get the grade, and then be like, okay, now vibes. Let's add the vibe
Yeah.
points in there.
Yeah.
Because there could be a book that's a 2 to 2.5 technical wise, but did I have a fun time? Kind of like Godzilla or, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, so I'll add one last thing to like my why, and that's like the being able to talk about books with people, like me and you, we talk about it.
Yeah.
Like that community that we have, like I'm not in depth with the people on like book talk, but like I'm in the comments, I'm talking with people, like and stuff like that. And so like I'm sharing all this. Me and my wife read, you and your wife read. We all talk about the books we read. A lot of like we've read a lot of the same books. I talk about like the relationship with me and my sister and like the books that we've read together and like talking about it. She loves, contemporary romance books, but she read Mistborn. She loved it. She read Dungeon Crawler Carl. She loved it. She read Project Hail Mary and loved it. And like, all these books, like I've been able to recommend like, hey, I really think you'd like this. My mom reads, and like, I got my mom into the Shadowhunter series, and you met my parents a couple weeks ago. We all went to dinner. And my mom was like, he needs to finish these books, because I introduced my mom to Shadowhunter, and I haven't finished all of them, and she has. And she's been on my case about it, and you've been on my case about it. My sister's been on my case about it, and I just need to do it.
I try not to be on people's case about it, but when I hear that someone has read them but hasn't finished them, I'm just like,
especially me, like I like them. Like if someone's like, yeah, I started them, it wasn't my jam, and you're like, oh, okay, don't finish something you don't like. I liked them, and here I am not finishing something.
Yeah. I'll say one thing to anyone watching that is interested in trying them. I've noticed that a lot of people get into the series more if you start with the Infernal Devices series first.
It is the better series.
The problem is that because it is the best series, but it's the second series, you start so high.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying it like drops down a lot.
No.
But that trilogy is just so peak for those books.
I think if you do start with the original series, you need to go in with like, try to put yourself in a 16-year-old mindset. Like, peak reading these anywhere from about 13 to 16, right? For those first 3 books.
Yeah, I started when I was 12.
Yeah. And like, you got to read those. Like me as a 30-year-old, we've talked about it. Like I'm not 30, I'm 33, but like reading these books as a 33-year-old for the first time, I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah. But rereading them, I'm like, that's a little problematic.
Yeah. If you can go into it like with that mindset, I think you'd be okay. Of like, these are young adult books. They are intended for people in middle and high school.
They're 2000s YA.
Yeah.
So.
Like we're talking like they're smooching, and that was like, oh, like, oh brother. And now we're reading, gay romantasy books. And you're like, wasn't gay enough for me.
Are.
Yeah. Heated rivalry, all that fun stuff. But so all I'd say, like, community, like books give you this community.
Agreed.
You go to these like special, like we have a really good local bookstore, puts on really good events and brings in authors. They brought in Travis Baldree, and several other people. Someone's coming soon that I saw. Either it's already passed or whatever, but it was another big name author, and you're just like, okay, cool.
I'll have to look that up. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's already passed, just like life events.
Dang.
But I could be very wrong in that.
I almost I was seeing an ad for one of the other bookshops in town, and they were doing an event for the new Rachel Gillig book, the
sequel to The
Night and the Moth. Yeah, the Moon and the Knave or something like that. And I thought they were saying she was gonna be there.
Me too.
And then it's like, no, she's not gonna be there. We're just doing a release party. And I was like, oh,
yeah, they're gonna have some licensed stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. It's like I hadn't read her books yet, but I was like, oh, my wife has read one of her books. Well, maybe we want to go to that. But
so there's that. So that's kind of the why. Like, really love reading. Big community person. It's less about escapism as it was when I was a kid. It kind of still is, but it's more of like, it's to take that load off. Like,
yes, damn, it's the cigarette at the end of a shift.
Yeah, it is our cigarette, because I don't smoke.
Yeah, same.
But
it's like, when some people go home and pour a glass of whiskey, we're cracking open spines, you know.
all day. Well, we're not cracking spines.
Yeah, well, yeah. I
I'll
have a
refer-
TikTok
yeah, I was
specifically
like, well,
saying that I
referencing
don't
its
crack
TikTok.
spines. Please don't crack your spine.
We'll link. You just need to link that specific video in
Yeah.
the description below.
Naturally let them crack over time. Don't open it and
Yeah, we're just, trophy on your shelf. E-read it, audiobook it. Support your audiobook narrators. So let's see. What else is on here? Kind of already talked about this a little bit today, like physical books, Kindle or audiobooks. I'm a Kindle person for the most part, and I audiobook. I would love to physical read. I'm not going to physical read books like this because they are books are meant
there
to be
are
read.
books that are just trophies, and that's okay. I've got plenty of them.
Yeah, my paperbacks are the ones I read. I don't read my hardbacks. I will if I have it.
I do. I will read a hardback,
Yeah.
but there are just specific hardbacks that I won't.
Yeah.
Like I have just the standard hardcovers of the Stormlight Archive.
This won't be read.
Yes.
I own it digitally. I own the audiobook. If I ever reread, it will be digitally. I will not crack open this.
I own the audio. I own the physical set. I don't think I have them. I have Malice digitally.
Yeah.
I have the ebook.
Yeah.
But and there's nothing wrong with owning multiple copies or multiple versions of the same book.
I own 3 copies of Mistborn.
I own 6 copies of City of Bones.
There you go. I own the digital.
Actually, I think 7 now. I just bought
dang.
another one.
I own the digital. I own the original hardback. And
Yeah.
then I own the new paperbacks that they have.
So on City of Bones, let's see. One special edition. I have the 10th anniversary edition, the 15th anniversary edition. I have the original, the paperback. I just bought a movie cover trade paperback just to have to the collection because it's garbage.
Did they ever do a show trade paperback?
They did. But I will not buy that.
Oh, is it
Like,
that bad?
That's a whole other episode because I can get on a 10-hour long tangent about that show. I still haven't even really finished it.
Me neither.
But I don't want to support that.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't
accept
hold it
that.
against the actors. I'm not one of those crazy people, but like the studio and all that, they just did not know what they were doing.
That I accept that.
But yeah, no, they did do a paperback for the show. But yeah, and then I've got, multiple copies of Sanderson books, multiple copies of Gwen.
Yeah, you got multiple copies of like a couple Ryan Cahill books.
Yeah, I've got I have 2 copies of the first Ryan Cahill book, but it's just because it's the original indie published paperback, and then it's the Broken Binding special edition that he just released. So,
and then let's see here. Just some fun little questions. Are you a fast reader or someone who takes their time?
depends on the point in life you look at.
Yeah.
There have been times where I am speed reading books. And then there are times where it takes me 2 months to read a 400-page book.
Well, let's break this down to, just as in like a reader. Are you a fast reader in terms of the speed at which you can read? Or
yes, I can physically read fast, especially when I'm enjoying the book.
Yeah.
If it's, the new Shadowhunter, the new Cosmere, a new, John Gwynne book, I'm probably zipping through that thing.
Yeah.
Not skimming it. Like, I'm still reading everything, but I'm just like, my focus is fully in it because I'm so excited I have another book of theirs to read.
Yeah.
If it's a book that I'm kind of enjoying, but it's not like really grasping me like those, I'm probably an average speed reader.
Yeah. I would say I'm above average speed reader, like especially if I get locked in, like non-immersive reading, because like that is a whole different subject, I think, of like types of reading, but just like physically reading a book,
yeah,
I'm pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like
I would say average in comparison to the percentage of the population that is regularly reading. Because if you say average reading speed compared to like the whole nation, it doesn't take much to get above average.
Yeah,
there.
the average person
Like,
reads less than a book a year. So
like, Carly was talking about the other day, we're looking at how many books we had read this year, and she's only read like 7 or 8.
yeah.
And she was like, I'm nowhere near hitting my goal. And I was like, well, what was your goal? She was same as yours, 52 for the year. And I was like, okay, you can look at it like that. Or you could also be like, you've already read 8 more books than the average American.
Yeah.
Like, so what if that's more than a book a month.
Dude, speaking of, Abby's read 40 books. Yeah. The most non-reader out of us, I would say, and not saying that she's not a reader, but she's read 40-ish books.
Yeah.
We had like counted it up the other day, and I was like, holy
That's
crap.
crazy.
She's specifically audiobooks, and
Yeah.
she is able, and I wish I could do this, to audiobook while doing other tasks.
See, I can.
I cannot. Like, I've tried to
Specific tasks.
driving. That's it.
If
It's
I'm like
either
cleaning the house,
No.
doing dishes, sweeping, mopping, if it's stuff that like my brain can just kind of like focus on that and my hands know what to do, then I can,
See, driving, I have to at least just like, I can only pay attention to what's in front of me, which means I'm not actively thinking about other things. I can't just like, let me look over here.
that's that ADHD.
Yeah, I just have to be there.
Yeah.
But like, and I can listen to the audiobook and all of that. But if I'm cleaning,
Mhm.
nope.
There are
Because I could do a million other things in my head during
Yeah.
cleaning. I can sit there and think about a billion other things. Like, driving is about it.
Mm.
Or I have to actively just focus and sit. Like, literally just sit on my couch and do this.
I can't do audiobooks if I'm not doing anything else. Like if I'm doing an audiobook, it's usually because I'm doing something on my computer or I have the physical book and I'm immersive reading.
Yeah.
I can't sit there and just
Oh no, I did that one time, and that was so we could finish Remarkably Bright Creatures, because
Yeah.
we started it like we were somewhere in Kansas starting that book, and we had like it was like 7 hours, and we got home, we had an hour left.
Yeah.
So we put it on.
So like in that situation, I have been able to sit there and just listen, but it's usually like I've got like the last half hour
Mhm.
and it's the final battle or whatever. Like the other day, as a few weeks back, I was listening to it might have been the Peter O'Rulean high fantasy series.
Yeah.
And I had like, I don't know, 15 minutes left and I was just sitting there like this. And then Carly walks in and she's like, hey, and I'm like, wait, no. And she's like, oh, okay. And then shuts the door. She's like, I know what that means.
Yeah. But I would say I'm a pretty decent reader, but like audiobooks are a whole different thing. Abby specifically can sit there on her phone and play games and listen to her book and like comprehend it. And I'm just
I can't play games. If I play a game, it's got to be something like so monotonous and like no plot whatsoever. But like even then, it's really hard.
No. I can only when I'm driving and only immersive read. That is it.
And as far as like preferred method of reading, I would prefer to do a physical book, but I spend more of my time audiobooking than anything else.
Yeah.
Just because I can do it when I'm at work with certain things.
It is the ease. It is the ease of access.
The accessibility, exactly.
So-
I don't have as much time just to sit there and do nothing with a physical book.
Yeah. That's why I don't only audiobook, because I do like I can't comprehend and I don't want to just slog through books. So it's either I'm immersive reading or I'm on my Kindle. Or like sometimes if I don't have my Kindle, I'm on my like Kindle app on my phone. But yeah, so
there was a point in time with work where we were working from home half the week. And this was when I was with the team I was with before the one I'm with now. And there was a lot less workload with them. We had much smaller portfolio. Now I'm busy all the time. But before, I'd be working from home 3 days out of the week and kind of just be sitting there waiting for emails to come in. So I got so much reading done then. And I could sit there with physical books because I'm at home waiting for the emails to come in. So
yeah,
hopefully no one from work watches this, or at least anyone important that'll get me in trouble. But everyone else did it, so it's fine.
That is my preferred method, but I read fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it will take me a while to finish a book, and it's not because speed of my reading is slow, it is because there are outside factors.
Yeah.
Or I'm just like,
Or just like your personal energy that
Yeah.
day. Like, you know.
sometimes I just want to doom scroll stupid videos on TikTok.
Yeah. It's okay to periodically doom scroll.
Yeah.
Just don't let it ruin your life.
Yeah. I doom
I'm
scroll.
looking at you, my lovely wife.
I doom scroll way too much. All my friends get way too many TikToks from me all the time. I'm just like, I don't even care if you watch them. I'm just sending them to you 'cause it's funny.
I had to turn off my TikTok notifications on my phone because one day Carly was just sending me so many. But then I didn't realize how many you were sending me because I opened my phone at the end of the day and it said I had 90 TikToks. Most of them were Carly.
Yeah.
Some of them were from different groups, but you had sent me like 25 that day. And I was like, damn, he did nothing today.
Yeah. And I may or may not have been at work. You never know. We won't say if it was a weekday or a weekend.
Yeah.
So if my boss watches this, no, you didn't.
Yeah. You have much more topics on there?
No, there's just some other stuff like, genres, but like it's just kind of, that was the meat and potatoes is like why, kind of getting into that, like why we're reading.
I think at least I mentioned genres. I'm really open to anything.
Yeah.
But my bread and butter is sci-fi and fantasy.
Yeah. I do love fantasy the most. You can do a lot with it. You've got your urban fantasy. You've got like medieval fantasy.
Well, you can even do like horror fantasy.
Yeah.
Like you can do fantasy in pretty much any other subgenre.
So, yeah, that's all I have for that though. For the most part, there's a little glimpse into like why we read.
Nice. We'll have to do more of these type of conversations. Get to know us a little better because like we've had a lot of deep conversations before, but I think these will kind of help open us up, build our friendship, and you guys comment along your answers to any of these. We get to know our viewers more.
Why do you read? Kind of situation. Answer it off in the comments. So
yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.
I'll see you later.